guys, welcome to Vitality Sports Media, and we have a special guest here with us today. We have Kai Desauguste. How are you, Kai?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for coming to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
All right, I'm Kai Desauguste. I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I go to Weber International, and I participate in men's collegiate volleyball and beach volleyball.
Wow. So tell us, how did you first get into, volleyball? Like, what was that like young for you? How did you get into it?
So, funny enough, never played volleyball until high school. Like, you have gym class where, they play volleyball. But I wasn't really interested. I'm more of a basketball guy myself.
Exactly.
So I always started off playing basketball. But then, like, it came to my high school season where I actually got cut from the team. Like Michael Jordan story. So I got cut from the team and I was like, what am I going to do now? I was like, I got to do sports. So, they had volleyball trials come up right after basketball. I saw them. I was like, oh, they got nice gear. I was like, oh, yeah. I like that. I like that varsity jacket. So I was like, I'm going to go try. I'm going to go get the jacket. So start off kind of as a joke. I was like, I just want the gear or whatever. And then, the coach was talking. He was like, yeah, man, I think you can like actually go far with this. He was like, you actually have like great talent and great athletic ability. And I was like, you think so? And like, it was just that push of
you're like, maybe this might work.
Yeah. And like, he was like, I was like, okay. And then, the guys, they start talking like, yeah, man, like, you're a pretty good athlete. You should do this. And I was like, okay. Who's basketball?
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like, tell us a little bit about your early career, because it sounds like you had a love and passion for basketball, but like you said, you just ended up getting cut. So did you play basketball when you were younger? Like, what sports did you play when you were younger?
So younger, I didn't really play any organized sports until middle school. Okay. So I was kind of just like, like backyard kid, like, just messing on my friends, just throwing the ball, doing or whatever. So I actually started in middle school. I started off with track and football. Okay. So football was a wide receiver. I was just like, oh, throw me the ball. I'm going to catch it. I'm going to just go to a touchdown. I didn't really care about anything. I just run and have fun or whatever. And then I did track also in middle school. Okay. I got some gold medals. I won a little bit. And I was just fast. I was just that kid who was just like known for just having great athletic ability. Like, I couldn't tell you much about the sport I was playing, but like, you put me in the field, I was just go.
You could do it. I could do it. That I see. Like, so you were just naturally just athletic and you picked up things very fast.
Yeah. I was just like, okay, run here. Got it. Boom.
It's athletes like that you just like, oh, I don't like them. Oh, I don't like them. Like it's so easy. I went through that with lacrosse. It's like, you only been playing for how long? It's not fair. So.
See, some people think it's easy for me, but like, it's always that guy who like doesn't have to practice. Like me, like I got good at it from like practicing, like doing everything over and over again. Like, okay, I wasn't fast enough. Okay, go out there, run hard again. Some guys I know, like, they don't even have to practice. So those are the players I hate. Like, they're just like, oh, time to play whatever. And then, like, they're the best player out there.
I have a teammate like that she was just so good. Like, not that she didn't practice or she didn't work hard, but she didn't really have to. She was that good, like she was just naturally good at the sport.
Yeah.
But
that's that aspect.
Yes, exactly. So tell us about when, after you had that conversation with your coach, and what grade in high school did you said, was it your senior year that you realized, like, okay, maybe you probably could do something with volleyball and track?
It was my sophomore year.
Okay, sophomore year. Okay.
Yeah. So basically how it went down was like, I started off my freshman year of volleyball and I was just playing like middle. So if you don't know, like middle is just like, it's a primary like defensive position. So like you're mainly blocking the attackers on the opposing side.
So what are the positions in volleyball? Break that down for us.
All right. So you got your setter. That's the person who distributes the ball. They're the ones who are going to set the hitters up. That's the facilitators, like the quarterback. Okay. You have liberos. Libero is like your defense specialist. That's the person who's going to be your primary passer. Like that's usually always the best passer on the team. Then you got your pin hitters, which are your outside hitters and your opposite hitters. The opposite hitter primarily hits on the right side of the court, and the outside hitter primarily hits on the left side of the court. But your tendency, your outside is also a passer as well. So it'd be like, your secondary best passer next to your libero. And then you have your middles. Your middles are those big giants up at the net who, hands up, blocking everything.
Yeah. And so what position do you play?
So right now I'm an outside hitter, but I started off playing middle.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, you see like a freshman year, like you see like a 5'4" kid, and like you play middle, like yeah, I'm the middle.
Like how? So that means you have ups, you can jump.
Yeah.
Don't brag. No, you said yeah, like yeah.
I'm
A little bit, a little bit. That's good though. That's really good. It sounds like you're very passionate about it. So, how was going like my bad cut. Okay, I'm gonna start over. So Kai, tell us about, making your decision to go to school. Like what was that process like for you? Because you did start a little bit later, playing the sport and everything. So take us into that process of like committing going to a school.
Yeah, so committing was definitely hard. Like I actually did it through a program called NCSA, where it's like
Okay.
they help like high school students, take control of like how they're gonna decide where to go to the next level.
You know
And
what's
so
crazy? You're the first person I've met who have successfully told me like that worked. I used to have a pro. Yes.
well, I don't know, like for me it was pretty easy. Like,
Okay.
you upload the highlights, you talk to the colleges, and like me, like I was kind of like I was shy about it. Like I didn't want to reach out, like, they're like, oh, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I don't even know what to ask. Like, I don't even know what to say to these coaches.
Okay.
So I kind of just held back. And, a lot of them actually hit me up first. And, then, we got to start the dialogue or whatever.
Exactly.
So it started off with NCSA. And then I went on there, I uploaded my highlights, and, I just wait out there. I didn't really expect anything. They kind of told me that, since I started late, I couldn't expect too much. They're like, yeah, you don't have a lot of experience. You're not the most tall guy. Like, you don't have a lot of features that, a lot of guys who, get the offers get. I wasn't just gifted in that way.
Yeah.
So, maybe like 2 months down the road, I started getting offers left and right. And like, it wasn't any big school or anything like that, but one came to face. It was Erskine, and I knew a few guys who actually had attended it.
Okay.
Erskine's a Division I, Division II level volleyball.
Okay.
And so I saw that, and like even before getting off, this like, yo, this might be somewhere I want to go, and that's where I actually ended up going for my first year and playing volleyball.
And how was that? How was going there? How was that for you? Because I mean, obviously you're not attending that school right now, so take us through that journey.
So through that journey, I mean, Erskine was a great school. And it was definitely like something that put me on the road to like becoming the athlete I am today. Like definitely gave me some key things I needed. It just wasn't a real fit for me. Like stepping outside into a different culture, because Erskine's in South Carolina. Like I'm talking like this school is like 30 minutes from Walmart. So if you don't have, if you don't have a car, you don't have like a means to get there, like you're stuck out of luck. Like,
exactly.
McDonald's, like any civilization, point blank period. So I was like, yeah, I'm not really used to that. I'm from Florida, or like, civilized there, like, Walmart's like 10 minutes away, like,
yeah.
And like the culture was just different. Like when I got over there, it was a culture shock. Like people in Florida, like Florida is diverse. Like you get everything from like religions to looks, like everything so different. When I went up there, it was kind of like, just one religion, pretty much everybody dressed the same. Like it was just something I wasn't used to.
It was it's very uniform. It's like everybody just followed one manual to be successful in this town. And that's
I'm not gonna say like there wasn't like different people or anything like that, but it was just like it was kind of like a standard, and I was just like, I'm not really feeling this. Now it wasn't really my vibe.
Yeah.
So then I end up leaving there, and this time I actually hit a coach up first.
Okay.
And so I reached out to Wilmington National where I am now, and I was like, this is a place that's like close to home. Like it's like an hour 45 from where I live, so I can really come back home anytime I want. So it was close to home. They had my major, which is important, very important.
Exactly. And I knew what's your major?
I'm a sports performance major.
Sport performance, okay.
Yeah. So that was a key thing. They had my major, so I was like, boom, this is perfect. This is somewhere close to home. And like the campus, they have this really amazing lake, and it's like most beautiful thing you'll see. Sunsets are absolutely crazy. So seeing that, I was like, okay, this is a place where, I could see myself living for, 3 to 4 years if I have to.
Exactly. That's good. I think, you hit on the very important points when it comes to committing to a school, because you know a lot of people may go because the name or it's big or the gear you get, but like you said,
Right.
is it somewhere that you like? How far is it away from home? You know,
Right.
what support system do you have back home? Also, does it have your major? I think a lot of kids try and commit to these schools that doesn't have what they want to do. And then later
Right.
on down the road, they figure, oh, I have to stop playing my sport, or I have to transfer because at the end of the day, this school didn't put me in the best position. Because when you go to these schools, you know, as freshmen, our goal is to play, but you never know if you're going to play or not. You don't know
Exactly.
if
That's
you're going to
the
hit
crazy
that
thing.
field. And so when
Like,
you make that decision, it's like, what did I make the decision for? You know, if I'm just sitting here, they don't have what I want. So all of those points that you named are very, very important, like seriously.
I
And
completely agree.
you said what now?
I said I completely agree. Like, I think a lot of athletes, they just jump to some situations like, oh, I'll just go and learn. I'll just go and experience and have fun. And then you get there and you realize that, like,
Yeah,
okay, like, I kind of like messed up. And then, you know, they think like, you know, I'll just transfer. But the transferring process it's a
exactly.
difficult one. You have to like think about the credits you're getting, you know, how long it's going to take for you to
Yes.
graduate. It's mental.
You hit that on the head with the credits. You hit that
Yeah.
on the head, you know, especially with going to like private schools, public schools, liberal arts schools, and you know, technology schools. Like it's a bit different. We all require different things. So tell us about college. You know, what year are you now?
Yeah, I'm going to my senior year.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about your freshman year. What was that like? Well, tell us about sophomore year when you transferred to your new school.
Okay. So sophomore year, transferred to school. It was hard at first because like
Okay.
transferring, you know, you go into a new, you know, a new environment. So like I was already accustomed to this when I was like, you know, I had my ways. Like I was like, okay, this is what I do. This is how I'm gonna go about. This is my success plan. But you know, you
Exactly.
come into a new environment where this one is, you know, it's more diverse. You know, people are more outgoing. Like everybody, there's so many
Yes.
distractions. That's what I'll say. So many distractions and so many cool things you want to try. You know, my first year, I kind of just, you know, stick to volleyball, you know, make sure I go to class. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, this is the college life.
You
Like,
kind of got
you
caught up
know,
in the mix a little bit.
yeah, I got caught up
Yeah.
in it. Like, okay, I want to start experiencing things. I want to start seeing what's out there. And, you know, you kind of get distracted. So, like, for my sophomore year was kind of like the way where, like, you know, I got to experience, you know, live the college life a little bit. And then, you know, got to live the volleyball up too. Like, I made sure it didn't really like dial me back too much where, you know, it was affecting the play and affecting everything else. But sophomore year was definitely like my experience in the year.
So it's not like sophomore year was a ball, but you were able to stay focused,
Yeah.
and your goal of you know being successful in your sport remained the same.
All right.
Exactly. So take us into your junior year. What was that like for you?
Now, junior, that's when it all hits you like, okay, this is time to tighten up. This is time where like everything counts. So I have a very like strict coach. Like my coach, this is like,
Okay.
he is the most like articulate person I know. Like he'll make anything into a system. He can break it down, put it back together in so many different ways. And like, he can talk you in a circle. Like you
Yes.
understand this dude. So, you know, he puts a lot of pressure on us, you know, not be mediocre, you know, be the best version of yourself, you know.
Yeah.
He has us set up goals and, you know, implement all these strategies to, you know, get what we want. So going to my junior, it was all about, you know, staying on that journey, staying on that path, you know, make sure everything's going in the right direction, optimized to the maximum. Because, you know, when you're a college athlete, you know, a lot of things hit you different. Like COVID hit, you know, like sometimes you're not able to play. You know, sometimes you get that new kid who comes in, you know, he's better than you.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, your classes come in, you know, you may fail a class or like,
Yeah.
you know, your credits don't line up. You want to change your major. Now you got to restart.
Exactly.
So last year was just the year where everything was like, you know, you just got to stay focused and keep everything on the right path to, you know, graduating. Cause that's like the main focus of going to college. You want to graduate, you want to get your degree so you can get to the next level.
And I think again, you hit it right on the head. The main focus when we go to school is to graduate. It is to graduate. And this is something that a lot of college athletes and people think it's just males. No, it's both male and females. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times down the line, both parties like to try and focus up, you know, just like we seen in high school. But college is a tad bit different. You know,
Oh
it's a
yeah.
tad
Oh
bit
yeah.
different. The thing about college is when you get behind and those credits, it's not easy to play catch up because you have hours and you still have to take more classes. And if
Right.
you're an athlete, you have to move around your practice schedule, which is already made up to be full from your classes that you need to take, that you had to take prior to filling in. So like it's a lot, so I definitely think you hit it on the head. Like, don't lose focus about the ultimate goal when being an athlete. Nothing's wrong with having dreams of wanting to be successful or wanting to be a pro or go overseas, but the main goal when you go to college, you are there. Student athlete is to get that degree.
Right,
So
right. You gotta wear so many hats. Like, you're a student, business person.
Exactly.
You gotta be a nutritionist. You have to be a gym rat. You have to do so many things, and I think it's underrated how much things like student athletes actually have to do.
I definitely think it's underrated, and I think that sometimes I think we're underrated, and I do think it's for a reason because some athletes can take advantage of what we have to do of our to-do list. And it's one thing if you're saying, this is on a to-do list, but you aren't doing it, because we do have athletes that talk a lot that don't do. So,
Right.
I feel like it really goes both ways. But take us up into, your senior year. I know it's summertime, what has those workouts been looking like?
So currently right now I'm going through a bulking season. In my past, my goal was people have a mistake, and like they think, I just want to be like the highest jumper, like, I just want to jump out the gym, just show off my ups. But my overall goal was to become
I told y'all he was a show off.
athlete.
I wasn't the only one who thought it.
I mean, who doesn't like to show off their ability? But my overall goal was to become the best athlete. Like, you may think, it's just about the ups. No, like, you got to be the strongest. Like, because me, when I go into the gym, I'm competing with every teammate, not guys who just look like me. I'm competing with the guys who are taller than me.
Exactly.
Bigger than everything. I want to be a jack of all trades. I want to have the best balance, the best speed, the best ups, the most strength, power.
You want to be an athlete.
I'm an athlete. I'm not I'm an athlete.
Yes. Exactly.
That's just my mentality.
Exactly. So, going into this upcoming season, what can we expect, because it's coming up here pretty soon?
So this season, the main goal is to, I just said it, but draw back from the athletic side.
Okay.
I want to use the mental side, because volleyball is a very competitive game. Like, you really have to be a winner. Like, when you get to college, once you get to like the upper level, it's more about being able to execute. It's no longer about being the hardest hitter. It's no longer about being, the highlight maker. It's about the executor who can, come and execute every day. Who's going to be that guy who's stepping up every day, regardless of what's going on. So that's the main thing. I just want to be the consistent player who doesn't have to, be going, highlight for highlight, but it's going to get the job done and, stay focused while doing it.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, when your coach looks down that bench, who he can count on, at the end of the day. That's a great way to look at it. It really is. Like, from one athlete to another, I'm like, wow, you just put me on game.
Yeah.
It's a great way to look at it, so, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like you said, you're a great athlete, and, where did you get, the mental side from? So do you look up to anybody, or this is just an all me thing? This is just all Kai?
Nah, I mean, I can't take credit for it. Like, I mean, me, I'm the guy who I like to, like, everybody has heroes. Like, I like to take from my heroes, and I like to, like, bring it back to myself, make it to my own game. So a player who I really look up to was Stephen Curry. Like, Steph, I don't care what anybody says, I was the original Steph Curry fan back in 20. He was, like he said, he had a story, like, he was a smaller guy, he didn't really have any options. So, he developed his game to be a certain way. And, you watch him, like, he now revolutionized his game to where it's.
I was going to say, how you develop the game to be your game to be a certain way, and you end up just evolving the whole game itself. Like,
exactly. So that's a guy who I looked up in particular. Like, there's many other guys like Bruce Lee, Mike Tyson, who I look up to, but Steph Curry probably hits on like underdog, underrated. But you have to develop the game to where you're playing your game and not somebody else's.
Exactly. I think like you said, that's a great way to look at it. And I think that's a great person to look up to, not just because physical characteristics, but, you know, he speaks a lot about the game mentally and what it means to him. Yeah. So, you know, like you look up to someone, there's young athletes, you know, that look up to others. So what is some advice that you could give to an athlete or a younger athlete that may see this?
So biggest thing will be decision making. So if you're going to make a decision, my thing is you got to go at it full heart. Like, you know, it's not just about, like I said, it's execution. It's not just about, you know, all being here, and being here, there. Like, you have to do it at all times. You have to be the best at all times. So, yeah, you're going to slip up, but it's always about getting back there and, you know, making sure, you know, you stay committed to what you want to do. Like, always have the end goal in mind. Like, where do you want to go from this? Yeah, you know, you're in school, you want to have fun, but think about where you're going to the next level. Do you want to play pro? You know, if you want to play pro, you know, you got to get through college. You got to get through, you feel me? So that's the biggest thing. Like, definitely staying on your grind. Don't let up. Be consistent. Like, over the summer, yeah, it's break time. Yeah, you're tired. But when you're trying to be the greatest, when do you have time to take a break? Like, Kobe mentality, Mamba mentality.
Mamba mentality.
Always getting better.
Exactly. Well, you know, Kai, I think that's great advice. And guys, let's wish Kai good luck on his upcoming season. And before you go, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And Kai, thank you so much for coming. I think we learned a lot of great stuff from you.
Hey, thank you for having me.
No problem.